Hello, everybody. We're back with the Sports Savvy podcast here. I'm with my friend Jonathan Shipman, DJ Shippy. He's the official DJ for the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Stars. Shippy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We've been on a little break from Mavs and Stars, but we're coming back here soon.
Yeah, I got a lot of naps in, so I'm ready for a couple homestands coming up now.
We're almost in playoffs here for Stars. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. There's nothing. Any playoff sport is better than a regular season game, obviously. But there's something about playoff hockey that's just. It's probably my. It's my favorite sport, anyways. And there's just you can't duplicate the energy of a playoff hockey game. Just impossible.
No. Not at all. And I feel like, especially like with the Stars, it's just like they really pack out those games. It's like very exciting to like be at for playoffs, especially.
Yeah, and we've actually had really good attendance all season long for Stars games and Mavs games, really. But yeah, once the playoffs roll around, it's totally different. There won't be an empty seat in the house, and everybody's going to be sitting on the edge of their seat, just waiting on that first goal.
So let's kind of get into the DJing side of it. Can you just kind of explain how you got into sports DJing and especially with both the Dallas Mavericks and the Stars? Those are huge, huge names. How'd you kind of get into your role?
Yeah, so actually, my friend Michael Gruber, who used to work at the Ticket, he was the Dallas Stars DJ for a while, and during the pandemic, he called me because he had an opportunity with the Rangers, and he was like, "Hey, man, like, I might be leaving the Dallas Stars. Would you want to sports DJ?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, I love sports and I love music and I love hockey." And I was like, "That sounds amazing." So basically, during the summer of COVID, like, I was driving up to the Frisco headquarters for the Dallas Stars, and I was working with my boss now, Kevin Hart. And basically, all summer, he was kind of explaining to me how he wanted the games to sound, and I was working on music for free, by the way. And I worked for
Big
free.
point right there.
I know, and money was tight at that time. Money was tight during COVID, so but it was worth it. It was to be able to get ahead of the game because with COVID, like, we knew the season could restart at any moment, and so I got to DJ a few of the Western Conference Finals, watch parties at the AAC, and then I got some Stanley Cup games as well at the AAC, just watch parties, of course, because they were up in Canada playing. But yeah, I just basically kind of, a lot of people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And in this case, that was definitely the case. And I just kind of took it and ran from there.
I'm honestly curious, do you ever just get when you're DJing a live game, do you ever just get those like adrenaline rush moments? Because like it's a huge part of the job is the music in the arena. You're entertaining thousands of fans. Do you ever just kind of get that like jolt of adrenaline?
Oh yeah, like after a game, I have to have at least two drinks. Like, I need a second. And like when people try to come talk to me, like I can't like. It's hard for me to talk for like 30 minutes after a game because my mind is just still racing. Because the whole time I'm DJing like a sporting event, I'm thinking, what's the arena like? So it's different with Mavs and Stars because obviously for Stars games, you don't play once the puck is dropped. Like, once the puck's in play, I don't play anything. So I'm kind of using that time, and however the game goes in that stretch until the next whistle, the whole time I'm thinking, all right, should I play something next that's, gets the fans clapping, or should I play something that is a response, or is this a good opportunity for a sing along? Are we winning? Are we losing? Are we, is the team pushing right now? Like, I'm constantly thinking about the energy in the building and what song I'm going to play next to kind of either bring more energy out of the fans or keep the energy going once the puck's out of play. So, and then with Mavericks games, I literally never stop. Like, I'm playing offense, defense, timeout. Like, I'm constantly doing stuff. So, like, after a Mavs game, especially, like, I feel like that Ben Affleck meme where he's got the cigarette and he's just like, God. I feel like that after every Mavericks game. Like, I go to the Jack Daniels Club and I'm just like, all
You
right.
need a minute. You need a minute.
Like, and I'm trying to tell people, like, look, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, I'm hearing the words you're saying, but they're just not processing right now. I need a second because it's a lot of thinking. That's what a lot of people I think don't understand. Like I think they think that I just play all my favorite songs, which
Right.
is not the case. I have a J. Cole poster right here. I play very little J. Cole ever. Like, like that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite artists. Mac Miller is another one of my favorite artists. But when it comes to sports DJing, I have to play obviously family friendly stuff, and then I just got to think of what works and how to capitalize on the energy and how to give both teams like that home court or home ice advantage.
I don't think people really understand all the stuff that goes in on the back end too, like all the preparation work that you do. I mean, there's times where I've talked to you and you're like, I just stayed up all night. I was putting content together for like the next game, and we have so many theme games. I mean, like, especially with doing it for Mavericks and Stars, that's a lot of time that you put in prep wise.
And that's yeah, and exactly. That's what a lot of people don't see is I'm at my apartment a lot of times late at night. I'll have an idea or something, or like I'll just go start looking for new music, or like I'll hear a song in the car and I'll be like, that would be a great song, and then I'll come back and I'll start downloading that and chop that up, and then I'll think of another song, and it just like sometimes it just snowballs, and I'll be up till 3 or 4 in the morning, and I'll either sleep for 2 hours or I won't sleep at all, and then I'll just sleep after the game, especially if it's a day game because I'm not a big morning guy. So if it's a day game, I will. I'm always on edge going to sleep the night before a day game. But yeah, like it's a lot of prep work. Like everything you hear, I cut that music specifically for different timeouts and things like that. And when it comes to sing-alongs, like I have it queued up to where right when they hopefully the refs drop the puck will be an easy spot for the fans to keep singing once the puck's in play. So it is a ton of prep work, and it's just constant. Like I'm not just pointing and clicking and just playing whatever song. Like that's what a lot of people think I do, and it's just that's not the case at all.
I honestly, since I'm not down in your area during Stars games, I can only imagine how many people actually walk up to you and they're like, "Hey, can you play this?" Or "Hey,
Yeah,
let's do this song." Like I don't I'm sure you deal with it all.
yeah, and I have a lot of people that say, "Hey, stop playing Friends in Low Places" or "Stop playing Mr. Brightside," and like whenever they say that, like that's why I don't check my phone. I don't check Twitter at all during games because I don't want any outside noise at all to influence how I DJ a game because I'm DJing that specific game. Like I understand a lot of season ticket holders, if they go to all 41 regular season home games, they're probably tired of hearing Mr. Brightside. But the thing is, I've got 18,000 fans to entertain, and there's going to be one fan that's their first game and their only game of the season, and they're saying, "Why didn't you play Mr. Brightside?" Or "Why didn't you play Living on a Prayer?" And it's really not even as much that as it is if the team is down or they're up late, and I'm trying like I play all the sing-alongs on icings, so it's like an icing, like they
Mhm.
just shot the puck at the other end of the rink, so that's like what you call an empty whistle. So I try to use that empty whistle and I turn it into something where hey, now we've got the crowd singing, there's energy, um, and it's really about just like intimidating the other team and pumping up our squad.
I also think it's hard to explain to people who don't work in sports, like just the fan engagement and like the atmosphere in general that you're building
Mm-hmm.
inside an arena for a game. And like when you are playing typical songs, like we play the Friends in Low Places and just some other type of sing-alongs, like it's building that environment through the season. Like it's one of those, it becomes one of those like standard moments that everybody enjoys, and it's just like part of the actual culture of the team and the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea that Harpo and I had, my boss Kevin Harp, where we wanted Friends in Low Places to kind of be like the Sweet Caroline that the Red Sox fans do every game. I mean, our saying is Texas hockey. There's really nothing more Texan than country music, and so and like admittedly, I don't play a lot of country music at whistles because it like for me it just seems like slow music and like I don't know, it feels weird when I play. Like I don't feel like I look around and unless it's something like Friends in Low Places or that Red Solo Cup song,
Mhm.
like something like that. If it's like a party country song, then okay, you
Yeah.
might be able to sell me on it. But if it's like just some slow stuff, I'm like, if I'm a player on the ice, I'm like, why is he playing country music right now? Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to out to like, I don't know, like Luke Bryan, which I will never play Luke Bryan, even if there's a fire. I'll never play Luke.
Noted.
Yeah. I played it one time. I played that Country Girl Shake It For Me song, and I
I
hated
do
it.
remember this. Okay, actually, I know what you're talking about.
It was for like an ice girl's birthday or something. So I was like, all right, it's her favorite song. I'll play this one time, but only this one time, and then maybe if you have another birthday.
So I know you do some just outside DJing stuff for like other events. Like, how do you even separate? I mean, you're so used to doing sports DJing and then you go and do other venues. Like, that's a lot to like do.
Yeah, and it's I mean it's pretty much the same thing that I do at at sporting events. It's the same thing if you DJ a bar or a club. Like you can't keep the energy all the way up here all the time. Like you have to, you have to bring it back down and then build it up slowly and then you have to read the room too. Like that's pretty much no matter what you're DJing and you're reading the room, and that's why people ask me like, what are you playing tonight? I'm like, I don't know. Show me how the game goes, or show me what crowd is here. Like if I'm at
Hmm.
a bar and a bunch of people show up and they're all wearing country hats, like a cowboy hat, like I'm not gonna play, Young Dolph all night. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna play to them. Like I want them to have a good time. I want them to stay. I want them to spend money and have fun. So it's really it's honestly easier to do outside events because I don't have to like think like does this song have a cuss word in it? And did I check and make sure that I mean, I always second guess myself on that. Like, even when I know it's not
Hmm.
there, I'm like, it happened to me one time where I missed a cuss word my first season, and that was one of the worst feelings of all time. So since then, I've had like a little PTSD. But the outside bar and club venues are I'd say easier than sporting events, just because you can't, like you're at a bar, everybody there's 21 plus, like you can pretty
It's
much
more flexible.
you can play whatever you want. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about a family because there's some clean songs that aren't really clean, like even when they're clean. Like when I play stuff for Mavs games, like the guys on the Mavs team like to listen to a lot of hip hop during the layout lines. I have to go in and like clean up even the stuff that is technically clean. That just if you're thinking about the average fan that's showing up to a Mavs game, it's usually a family of four. Like it's a very family friendly environment. And Mark Cuban wants it to sound like a sports wedding, is what he calls it. So I have to make sure that whatever I'm playing, even if it's technically clean, that it's something that, like, if the guys on the team, it's like that's what my boss always tells them. Like, would you want your kids listening to this? Think of it that way.
That's
So
pretty fair. Yeah.
yeah, so I have to go in and like make sure that stuff's clean. So yeah, the club and the bar stuff is a lot easier, just because I don't have to have those same worries.
What would you say so far for both Mavs and Stars this season? What has been your favorite moments for each sport?
So this season, definitely the Christmas Day game against the Lakers. That was awesome with the Dirk statue unveiling before. It was a really long day, but it was awesome. Like I've always watched NBA on Christmas Day, and then just having the Dirk statue unveiling that day and just all that stuff. It was a lot of pressure, but it was a lot of fun. And we were playing the Lakers. We were easily like the best game that was on that day. So that was definitely my favorite moment for the Mavs this season. And for the Dallas Stars, it was really cool to DJ Jamie Ben's 1,000th game and his 1,000th game ceremony, because I was thinking about it and I was like, dang, like I was watching him in college, like rooting for him, and now I'm like part of his big day. So like doing stuff like that, and like I got to DJ Sergei Zubov's after party when he got his jersey retired, like stuff like that. Like these are people that I grew up watching. Like Marty Turco is like my friend now. It's weird. Like
Yeah.
it's like
I love
surreal.
that.
It's like surreal. The other night I DJ'd a Victory Club member thing for the Stars, and like Marty Turco's coming up to me like, Shippy, do you need another drink? And I'm like, is this real life? Like, is this actually happening? I grew up watching you. You're one of my favorite players, and now you're like bringing me a vodka soda right now. Like it's awesome. Like it's really surreal at times. Like there's just moments where I'm like, I have to pinch myself. I'm like, is this really my life? Like, is this actually happening? Am I dreaming right now?
No, and it's so cool just like just being in the sporting industry, it's people don't totally realize that we get to do a lot of really cool stuff. And there's times even where I have to like take a step back and I'm like, wow, I like really get to do some cool stuff and like there's a lot of fans or people who would just die to be in
Yeah.
our positions and it's fun to just say that we get to do what we do.
And that's like when I DJ Stars and Mavs games, like especially like when there's a big moment, like a big goal or a big bucket or like a Luka, buzzer beater or something. Like there's sometimes where I'm like sitting there and like I'm like I have to like try to suppress my emotions. Just like I have to remember that I'm not just a fan. Like I have to like stay focused and like there's just a lot of cool moments where it's like kind of overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I get it. I try and have to be quiet up in the press box up there sometimes. I'm just like so excited when
Oh, I
there's a goal and I'm like harp sitting right there with the goal horn pressing it. I'm like, be quiet, Savannah, like don't do it.
Yeah, no, I would not. I like I've even when I was in sports radio, like I was never gonna be good in a press box because there's no way I'm not gonna make noise if the Stars score, or if the Mavs have a huge bucket or something like, or the Cowboys or the Rangers. Like I'm a Dallas kid. I was born and raised here, so it's just surreal at times. Like a lot of the things that I've been fortunate enough to do.
I love it. Well, we are on the playoffs coming up here soon, so we'll get that started. Mavs are doing pretty decent. We'll see how they do. I don't know,
Yeah, I
but
keep my
super excited for Stars.
Yeah. The Stars are definitely in a better way right now than the Mavericks, but the Mavericks have a lot of good stuff to look forward to. Um, they had a tough loss to Miami that I don't know if it totally killed our
Hmm.
chances, but it's not looking good. But I'm always a half glass full type of guy, so
We
maybe
love it. We'll
maybe
see.
they get on a little run here and make it just barely squeak in.
We'll see. I'll have to pop by another Mavs game here
Yeah,
soon.
man, again, that was fun. It was good to
We'll
see you.
do that. I'll come as a fan again. But other than that, I will be seeing you next week for Stars
Yep.
on the playoff stretch here coming up. But thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah. No, thank you. Anytime. Happy to do it.
I'm gonna text you some song requests coming up.
Please put it on your phone and put it on your head. Like I love it when people do that. That's every DJ's favorite thing.
Perfect. Lil Boosie every time.
Play Bad Bunny on it. Yeah. Or a little boozy. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I got you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shippy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.